Kopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Kopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Vishnu Pad Brahmhamsa Parivajapacharya Ashtotra Shata Shri Srimad Bhagavatam Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to the Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, entitled Status Quo, Chapter 26, Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. We're in text 47.
Sorry, this is the only one we get from.
Thank you. This is a good one. Nabo Guna Vishesharto Yasya Tachtrotram Uchyate Vayor Guna Vishesharto Yasya Tatsparshanam Viduhu Nabo Guna Vishorto Sheshorto. Shorto. Okay. Nabo Guna Visheshorto. Yasya Tachtrotam Uchate. Vayor Guna Visheshorto. Yasya Tatsparshanam Viduhu Nabo guna visheshorto. Yasya tachtrotam uchyate. Vayor guna visheshorto. Yasya touch sparshanam viduhu. Please chant. Would you like to try, Matt? It's up to you, you don't have to. Okay. Okay. Visheshorto. There's a Visheshorto in the next verse too, 48. There's other Visheshortos.
We better get it down.
Yeah. Visheshorto. Word by word translation. Nabaha guna visheshaha. The distinctive characteristic of sky. Sound. Artaha. Object of perception. Yasya. Whose. Tat. That. Shrotam. The auditory sense. Uchate is called. Vayo guna visheshaha. The distinctive characteristic of air. Touch. Artaha. Object of perception. Yasya. Whose. Tat. That. Sparshanam. The tactile sense. Viduhu. They know. Translation. The sense whose object of perception is sound is called the auditory sense. And that whose object of perception is touch is called the tactile sense. Purport. Sound is one of the qualifications of the sky and is the subject matter for hearing. Similarly, touch is the qualification of the air and is the subject of the touch sensation. So I'll read 48, 49, and 50. So tomorrow's verse will be 51. Tejo gunavisheshorto yasya tachchakshur uchite ambo gunavisheshorto yasya tadrasanam viduhu bhumir gunavisheshorto yasya sadgarana uchite. The sense whose object of perception is form, the distinctive characteristic of fire, is the sense of sight. The sense whose object of perception is taste, the distinctive characteristic of water, is known as the sense of taste. Finally, the sense whose object of perception is odor, the distinctive characteristic of earth, is called the sense of smell. Parasiddhishyate dharmo ya aparismin samanvayat ato vishesha bhavanam bhumav eva palakshate. Since the cause exists in its effect as well, the characteristics of the former are absorbed in the latter. That is why the peculiarities of all the elements exist in the earth alone. Purport. It's nice. Sound is the purport. Sound is the cause of the sky. Sky is the cause of the air. Air is the cause of fire. Fire is the cause of water. And water is the cause of earth. In the sky there is only sound. In the air there are sound and touch. In the fire there are sound, touch, and form. In water there are sound, touch, form, and taste. And in earth there are sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Therefore earth is the reservoir of all the qualities of the other elements. Earth is the sum total of all other elements. The earth has all 5 qualities of the elements. Water has 4 qualities, fire has 3, air has 2, and the sky has only 1 quality, sound. Etan yasam yada mahad adini saptavai kala karma guno peto jagat adir upavishat. When all these elements were unmixed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin of creation, along with time, work, and the qualities of the modes of material nature, entered into the universe with the total material energy in 7 divisions. Purport. After stating the generation of the causes, Kapila speaks about the generation of the effects. At that time, when the causes were unmixed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his feature of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, entered within each universe. Accompanying him were all of the 7 primary elements, the 5 material elements, the total energy, Mahatattva, and the false ego. This entrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead involves his entering even the atoms of the material world. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 535. Andantarasta paramanu chayantarastam. He is not only within the universe, but within the atoms also. He is within the heart of every living entity. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, entered into everything. Ancha Kapadribasha Kapasinibhavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Zach, do you think you could get a Bhagavad Gita, please? So in the last purport, it's mentioning that Krishna, or Supreme Personality of Godhead, Garbhodakshaya, thanks. It said Krishna, or God, He's in everybody's heart. And this is stated many places in the Srimad Bhagavatam and in the Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna is in the heart of every living entity. Even some people, some religious people, or people with different theories and so on, they say that humans have souls, right? And generally, and some of them say that also the soul that's within the human body, of every human body, there's also God there. There's a sense, okay, God's in their heart as well. But many people don't have the idea that that animals have souls. They think they're soulless, or maybe only the dogs have souls. I don't know. Because everybody, so many people love the dogs so much. The dogs have the souls, and the other animals that they eat, they don't have souls. But most, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So, but according to the Bhagavatam, according to the Bhagavad Gita, there's the soul, the same quality of soul is in every form. The animals, even the plants, the fish, the whales, the ducks, the boars, the whatever, pig, everything. There's a soul there, and even you could say more than that is that not only is the soul there, but the super soul's there. Krishna, God, is in every living entity's heart, even those other species. So that's quite a interesting idea presented in the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, that God is in the lower species, the forms too, in the heart. So in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a verse, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pratipurvakam. Tesham satata yuktanam 10:10. So, and that's explaining, I believe that's explaining what is being talked about here. Maybe, maybe not. But I think there's a verse, it starts with Tesham, or it has Tesham in it with, it's the next one? Oh, okay, the next one. There we go. I was close. I was close, but no samosa. Close but no cigar. We don't deal with cigars, so close but no samosa. But it was the right next one, so. Thanks, Damodar Kumar. So, Tesham, okay, it has the word Tesham. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pratipurvakam. That's the one I thought it was. But to those who constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they could come to me. And Tesham evanukam partha, so it has that Tesham. Aham agyanatam tamaha naishayam atmabhavosto gyana deepena basvata. So it says, to show them special mercy, Krishna is saying, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So he said he's dwelling there, dwelling in the hearts. He destroys with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So yeah, this is a wonderful thing, that Krishna is in the heart of every living entity, and he's destroying the ignorance, or he can destroy the ignorance if we make that choice to go in that direction. I was just curious, by my facial expressions, did everybody sense that it was the wrong verse? Yeah? Okay. I was wondering. I guess I didn't hide that too well. Huh? So there we go. And Prabhupada says in the purport that due to the contamination of material association through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears, and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. Quickly clears. And it says Krishna is just like the sun, so the darkness of ignorance at once dissipated. This is a special mercy rendered by Krishna. So yeah, this the idea that Krishna is in everyone's heart, that is extremely important. That devotees understand that and come to the realization that that is the fact. Or else there could be so many problems, actually, that if we don't have that realization. I spoke with our friend Abhinanda Prabhu, devotee Abhinanda Prabhu. And he said that he was walking with His Holiness Navayogendra Swami and another devotee, and this other devotee he was walking with, he was a sannyasi at one point, one of Prabhupada's early sannyasis, but he gave it up. Which sannyasi, you vow never to enter again into married life, and like that. It's just you're traveling monk, so you're not supposed to give it up and again marry like that. So, but he did that, and many devotees did that, but he was one of them. And a devotee, the Navayogendra Swami, asked this devotee who gave up his sannyas, said, "So why did you give up your sannyas? Why did you do that?" And this devotee said, he said, "Because I was lonely. And I gave it up because I was lonely." And then he said an interesting thing. Abhinanda Prabhu was there, and he's telling me that this devotee who gave up sannyas said, "I was lonely," and he said that Prabhupada told him that sannyas life means you have to have the ability to tolerate loneliness. Which I thought was interesting. Okay, well, I was thinking about that. What exactly does that mean? So I was thinking about it, and I asked my spiritual master, His Holiness Gurudeva Swami. I asked him. I told him the whole thing, and I asked him what he thought about that. And then he sent me 2 quotes from Srila Prabhupada letters. That quotes from Srila Prabhupada's letters about being lonely and things. So I'll read those quotes that I have written down on a old jury duty thing that I should have went to, but I didn't. So Prabhupada says, this is a letter, 1969, April 3rd. Said, "Don't feel yourself to be alone, because Krishna is always with you. Krishna is within everyone as the super soul." And he says that he gives he's especially there for the devotee, and he talks and gives the devotee intelligence, how to meet him, come to the stage of meeting him personally. So he's there with the devotee in the heart, and he gives him intelligence to come to the stage of meeting him. So don't feel alone. Always chant whenever possible. Always chant whenever possible. Read our books, and there will be no great difficulty. So he didn't say there won't be any difficulty, but no great difficulty. So the great difficulties that people may experience in devotional life, which we see here and there, and maybe within our own lives, maybe at times, the great difficulties, you could say, are there because we're not always chanting whenever possible. We're doing other things maybe whenever possible, or we're not reading books whenever possible. But that's what Srila Prabhupada said. He said, if you have spare time, chant Hare Krishna, right? If you have some spare time, read the books. And there'll be no great difficulty. So if we don't want great difficulty, this is the advice Prabhupada's giving. If we want to avoid great difficulty, this is the advice. But there will be other difficulty. So yeah, this is an interesting, wonderful quote from Prabhupada's letter. He said, "Don't feel yourself alone." And there's another one here. It says, I never felt myself to be alone. When I first came to the U.S., I was seemingly alone for one year. But I never felt alone. I always felt the presence of my guru, Maharaj, my spiritual master, guru, teacher. Myself, I was cooking. I was printing books, selling books. everything seemingly alone. But I did not lose my determination. You should always know you are never alone. A Vaishnava is never alone. December 27th, 1974. So that's what he sent me, those quotes. And then so I read them, and I asked him about it, and after I read the quotes, and I was saying to him that the thing is, in order to not feel alone, you have to have that realization, or else at times you will feel alone. We have to have this realization that God's there, right? The Guru's there in our hearts, or else we will feel alone at times if we don't have that realization. So if somebody is in a situation in which, seeming they're alone, or or so on and so on and so on, and they might be somewhere. They might actually be somewhere alone, right? Then yes, they'll feel alone. So I was bringing up the point to him that this idea of tolerating it until we actually come to the platform of that realization. In other words, it's enjoying that we control our senses, right? Vacho vegam, manaso kroda vegam, jiva vegam, dodapasta vegam, etan vegam. Control the tongue and belly and mind and anger and everything. Control our senses. The urges of the senses. And we may not be so good at that at times. We may not be so good at that. Most people aren't good at that. Most people are good at not controlling their senses. But letting the senses go wild, that's they're expert in that. Just open the floodgates. Let it, like that one song, right? Let the good times roll. Old song. But we're enjoined to control our senses, and so for a pure devotee, there's no problem controlling the senses. The senses are attached to Krishna. They're spontaneously attracted to Krishna. They're in love with Krishna. There's no problem. It's not an issue at all. But for people who aren't fully in love with Krishna, there could be some problems sometimes. So, in the meantime, before we come to the stage of fully loving Krishna, senses completely attached and to God and spontaneous attraction to God, to Krishna, then the idea is that we tolerate. We tolerate their urges and we try to control, of course, in Krishna consciousness. So similarly with this loneliness, we may not come to this, we not be at the stage right now where we have that full realization that, I'm never alone, God's there, the Guru's there, and like that. But we try to act on that, and we try to understand that. And in the meantime, we tolerate the difficulties of not having that realization, with eventually the understanding and the hope that we will attain that realization, which is important, because the lack of that realization will produce fear, will produce loneliness, which results in frustration and depression, and all different types of things stem from this feeling alone. And it's actually a very big problem nowadays, this loneliness. There's been so many studies, and just you talk with people, and they'll tell you that they could be in a room with someone. Not with someone. They could be in a room with 50, 100 people, but they still feel alone. They still feel alone, and that causes uneasiness, depression. Like I had a family member, and she was telling me this, which I thought was nice, because she was revealing her mind, and it's not an easy thing to tell people, these different types of things that they experience. But she was saying that she had the experience regularly that she would be in a room full of people, but she'd feel very alone, and therefore not so happy. Because you feel disconnected. You don't feel connected with anything. You don't feel connected with anyone. You don't feel connected with anything. So it's a state of. It's a very strange place to be in, actually. Unfortunate. So Krishna consciousness, it helps us come to that realization that God's in the heart, Guru's in the heart, and actually we're able to connect with people in a real way, not in some superficial, artificial kind of, oh, you like this beer, I like that beer, okay, we're friends, or something. Or let's go to the Chargers games together. Oh, the Chargers in L.A. I forgot. Let's go to the Padres game together. The baseball game and SanDiego baseball team. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Not at this time, but they're still here in SanDiego, though, right? Okay, all right. So it's you could do things on, or like when we were in high school, kids, you try to find something in common with each other. So if kids would smoke pot, they go up to, so hey, you smoke pot? Oh, I smoke pot. Okay, let's get together and smoke some pot. But is that really a connection? It's not really a connection, just some kind of superficial, lame connection. But with Krishna consciousness, it could be a real connection on the spiritual platform, in which is based on reality, which is based on Krishna consciousness, based on service, to the soul, serving each other, who we really are. So all these horrible things that happen in the world regularly, right now it's happening, and it's happened yesterday, and it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen in 10 years from now, unfortunately. It's not that Krishna in everybody's heart, it's not that he wants them to do these things. It's not that Krishna wants, like these foolish, unintelligent claims that, oh, God, he inspired me to kill 150 people or something. No, that's your demented mind that inspired you, not God. So Krishna and everybody, he's there in everybody's heart, but he doesn't want people to do evil things. There are evil things, not evil things, but evil things. He doesn't want people to do evil things. But people do them anyways. So it's like our experience, if anyone has children, most of you in the room looks like you don't, but a few of you do have children. Actually, not a few, only two. Two of you have children. A couple of you have children. And, but not only in the devotees here who have children, but in every family who has children, and all over the world, thousands and millions of people, the experience is the same, more or less, that they want their child to do certain things and not do certain things, and they want to help them in certain ways, inspire them, help them, educate. But when it comes down to it, the soul's individual, and the soul, has his path or her path, and they do things, that they want to do, which may not exactly be all the time what the parents want. So similarly, Krishna, he has his plans and ideas and ways he wants to see a soul, things he would prefer a soul to do, but sometimes they don't pick that, and then they may do all types of other things which aren't good for them or anyone else. So Krishna consciousness is it's coming to the stage or to the realization which our desires, our aspiration, our mind, our body, our words, everything is in link, everything is in connection, everything is in alignment with Krishna and Krishna's desires. And specifically, everything's in alignment with the desire of the spiritual master or the guru. And in that way, when everything's in proper alignment, then we're happy because we're in alignment with reality. We're in alignment of what's actually true. We're not in alignment or misalignment with this whole world, but we're in alignment with with the spiritual master. And when one is in alignment with the spiritual master, connected in that way, or they feel the presence, then they could do good things. They could do good things for people, for the world, for themselves. They could do good things, and they could offer nice service. Because when one is connected, then they are being inspired. They're being directly inspired by Krishna, by the spiritual master. Like Prabhupada's saying in this quote, he's saying that Krishna will give the intelligence. He says Krishna talks to the devotee. Krishna will speak with the devotee, and especially talks to the devotee and gives him instructions on how he could come to the stage of personally meeting him. So, of course, we shouldn't like claim, I'm in direct communication, with God or something. But we have our indications, which we could confirm with outside sources, gurus and sadhus and scripture. But yeah, it's a state of it's a wonderful state to aspire to, and so yeah, that's what we should be. That's what we should be doing, or that's what we're advised to do with our lives, to aspire to that state, which doesn't happen just so quick. I remember Tirthamaj was here some time ago. This a few years ago, but he was, and I was having some, I don't know if it was great difficulty or difficulties, but. And then he went back to get his water. He gets his water before he chants japa, and I followed him back there, and I was kind of like struggling. I wanted to tell him something. And I said, God, it's so hard to get free of Maya. It's just so difficult. Like, why does it have to be, it's just so difficult to get free from Maya. I was saying, and then he laughed. He laughed, and he said, yeah, it's true, it is difficult. And he said, it's a lifelong mission, it's a lifelong mission, lifelong project, he said. So, and then we chanted Hare Krishna. So that's the way. So, does anyone have any questions? Or yes, Javita Prabhu, or comments? I think, are you going to mention that, anyways.
The idea of feeling alone, that's, of course, the illusion, because we're never alone. Krishna's always in the heart. That's why this an aside, I just thought of something. When you read Prabhupada's books, you come across certain things that maybe you're not quite sure what it means. And the phrase "forgotten soul" is in there. In fact, it was in there at the end of one purport in the fourth chapter of Gita, I think. And he was starting arguing. And then we realized Prabhupada used that word, and I can prove it by other instances, to mean forgetful. But because of the idea of the forgotten soul is very dramatic, like the lonely soul, birth after birth,
Yeah.
And no one's forgotten. How can you be forgotten?
Yeah.
Krishna's always there.
Yeah.
But not only that, but you can see another context, Prabhupada used that to mean forgetful soul. So this alone and loneliness, there's two different things there. There's someone you can be alone. Prabhupada was definitely alone, but he was never lonely because he didn't feel alone. He felt Krishna's presence there. Now the great advantage of I remember this phrase from a purport, and there's no way I can reference it right now. But Prabhupada said that devotee association is so valuable because you're actually associating through the super soul when you're properly associated, glorifying Krishna or working together for Krishna's service. That's the idea, Krishna Katha. And it's very logical in the sense that the perverted reflection, like you mentioned, the sports teams. Someone moves to forget SanDiego, they're losing all the teams. But Dallas, so the football team there is huge, So someone moves there. They're from some other city, but suddenly they're part of the Dallas team. They go to the Dallas community. roll on, they've got a jersey on, it's a Dallas.
You got a hat, yeah.
So they're, because they're glorifying the same thing and they're getting reciprocation like that, then you relate to everyone, oh, this is my buddy, and it's a false thing, but that's the principle. Now in Krishna consciousness, we come from all kinds of backgrounds, but we come and we have one thing in common, and that's Krishna service, the mantra, everything that we're reading the same book. And when you relate to each other on that basis, either at meeting together, glorifying, we had this wonderful festival last night. So everybody in the room there, we had the kirtan, all both of the deity smiling so beautifully. So there's a certain feeling amongst between us of warmth and friendship because we're loving the same person who loves us. In other words, that's the unifying factor, and it can be true for the whole world or the whole universe. Whereas on the material plane, there's always the divisions, right? The Dallas, fans are going to hate the San Antonio fans. They have their own football team. There's all this rivalry, So that's important. What you're mentioning is that when we come together, we should glorify Krishna together, serve Krishna together, and then there'll always be harmony inside. When we start, and that's why you can see why blasphemy is so bad. Why criticizing of devotees immediately places the barrier, false barrier between others, and you feel uncomfortable in the association, which is very dangerous. But then the next thing you do is you read the association. That happens. Right?
Yeah, the material difference, like the body, the material, like you mentioned, the fans, the Dallas, and then they have other teams like rivals, and also the body, the ethnicity, oh, I'm from Mexico, you're from America, or you're from Europe, but there's all these kind of like, people aren't seeing how it's all connected, I thought, anyways, I thought you were going to say something about the Bhagavad Gita shloka, about how Krishna's shivering or quivering, anukampa. And maybe you could explain that. It's a nice...
Well, yeah, the thing is, it's similar to the next verse. These are like 4 central verses, 10, 8 to 11, Gita. And Krishna's describing there his reciprocation in the 8, 9, 10th verse, when you first wrote it, how those who are always thinking of him and speaking about it and serving him, so to them, who are wishing me with love, I give the intelligent with taking the company. But in the next verse, it's a similar thing. I destroy the darkness, and use the word anukampa, which is a word that means compassion. Now, anukampa is one of the ecstatic symptoms, trembling, right? And so anukampa means trembling after someone. It's an act of empathy. You're feeling what they're feeling. So Krishna is very, very aware of every feeling we have, and he's sympathetic and empathetic. And so he wants to relieve that. He wants to enlighten us so that we won't be invited. So that word is very interesting.
Yeah.
Wonderful class, thank you very much. I love these points. You brought up Srila Prabhupada's Never Alone, Super Soul because Super Soul realization comes after the Balaram realization. We're going to talk about realization. So this instruction to the devotee to have been given sannyas, although sometimes said those were field commission, wasn't really qualified, but there was a necessity to propagate the movement.
Yeah.
So certainly that Prabhu would have had intellectual understanding of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
He would have known the philosophy and been able to speak it very well, but he didn't have the realization.
Yeah.
So this verse from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Vishayadani Vartante, Naraharasya Dena, avoiding so may be restricted from sense enjoyment, but the taste or sense object remains. Now we generally, I'll speak personally, you read that purport and you kind of focus more on, but when the higher taste is there, automatically you give up the lower engagement. You don't need restrictions really because you're already a problem and serving the purpose of them. But, the first part is just as important for those of us who don't have the taste. We have to have the seriousness and the intellectual understanding and the determination to follow these regulations so that the taste will develop. We'll tolerate the loneliness, we'll tolerate the instructions, the services we're given, and then the realizations come. In regards, I was trying to differentiate